You may complain about the weather where you live, perhaps the rain in the UK or the freezing cold temperatures in Russia. However, you could be living on a planet that rains acid or features lightning 10,000 times more powerful than on Earth. Here are 10 examples of the craziest weather on other planets. Number 10. Diamond rain. If you can't afford diamonds on Earth, why not move to Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, or Uranus? Here on these planets, it actually rains diamonds because of lightning that turns methane into carbon, which then cools and solidifies into diamonds. However, while Jupiter and Saturn aren't necessarily hot planets, they have a hot core temperature, which often ends up melting the diamonds, while on Neptune or Uranus, they generally remain as diamonds, making them available for anyone who wants them. Number 9. Metal snow. Despite being very hot and dry, it actually does snow on Venus, but not like snow on Earth. What actually happens is the extremely high temperatures vaporize metallic materials, which makes them become a sort of mist or fog of metal that travels through the atmosphere upwards. Much like on Earth, this forms something like clouds, and then cools down and falls into some of the mountains on Venus. Therefore, a lot of the mountaintops on Venus are covered in this kind of shiny metallic coating. Number 8. Ice volcanoes. Saturn has an icy moon called Enceladus. Being cold and icy, it is very reflective and unlike other moons and planets. In fact, one of the strangest things is all the cryovolcanoes, or ice volcanoes, that shoot out ice, water, and dust. This then creates a robust layer of ice on the moon, which of course causes its surface to be shiny and reflective. However, what is even crazier is that the dust spewed out from the volcanoes actually leaves the atmosphere of Enceladus and then traps itself in Saturn's own rings. Number 7. Raining glass shards. On the exoplanet named HD 189773b, there is a very luminescent blue glow all around it. The cause of this is actually that it rains horizontal glass shards at an immense rate of 4,349 miles per hour. But how does it make it blue? Well, as the glass shards cascade down from the sky, the reflection of light means that the planet has the appearance of being covered in water. It may look like a nice planet, but if the thousands of tiny cuts of 4,000 miles per hour glass shards don't affect you, then the 5,400 mile per hour winds certainly would. Number 6. Supersonic winds. Talking of wind, Neptune is home to the fastest winds we've seen in our solar system, reaching up to 1,500 miles per hour. Unsurprisingly, Neptune has a lot of storms that appear as darker areas on the planet, such as one storm known as the dark spot, which grows bigger than the size of Earth itself, and these storms can last decades and decades. Number 5. Methane Snow. Another one of Saturn's moons, called Titan, is the largest of Saturn's moons and has a dense atmosphere. Much like the Earth, it has seas, lakes, rivers, glaciers, and rain and snow. However, the chemicals and elements found on Titan and in its atmosphere are completely different. While we have water on Earth, which of course cools to make snow, Titan has methane, propane, ethane, and other unsimilar chemicals to Earth. These then cool in the atmosphere to give Titan its methane snow. Number 4. Super lightning. You may or may not like rain and storms with lightning and thunder on Earth. However, it would be a lot worse for you if you lived on Saturn, or more specifically, in the Great White Spot. Here, every so often, it rains completely everywhere, and this rain brings along high-intensity lightning that can shoot out 10 bolts every second. Not only is all of this interesting in itself, but scientists believe this storm could prove that there's water on Saturn. Rather than the storm itself being the proof, it is the fact that these storms can disappear so quickly. If Saturn had no water, it would be more likely that the storms could last centuries. And we all know that where there's water, there's life. Number 3. Solar storms. The sun is very hot and is responsible for heating our planet, but it can cause damage to the Earth with its solar storms. These storms consist of outbursts of radiation as well as particles that are charged, and these damage satellites that are monitoring the sun's activity, or sometimes we are forced to turn off satellites and power grids when these storms happen. However, we can't always detect when these will happen, such as in 1989 when a solar flare damaged the power of the Hydro-Quebec station, which meant 6 million people had no electricity for 9 hours. Number 2. Acid rain. Once again on Venus, As well as having metal snow, it also has sulfuric acid rain. This happens when sulfur dioxide and water react together in Venus's atmosphere. While there is acidic rain on Earth, this on Venus is significantly stronger and more corrosive. However, the surface temperature of Venus is near 500 degrees Celsius, and sulfuric acid evaporates at 300 degrees Celsius, meaning that the acid probably boils away at around 30,000 meters. Number 1. Psychedelic Clouds. Saturn has come up quite a lot with its weird weather, and this is another example. Saturn has a hexagonal cloud pattern at the planet's north pole, which is wider than Earth's cloud formation. What baffles scientists is that over the years, these clouds have kept on changing color since it was discovered in 1981 by the Voyager probe.